I really need to get into one of these tents. Not only does it have those tech notes, but oh, he's right there. I really needed that cucumber too. Crap. All right, folks. Well, here is the scenario. This is a game called The Infected. It has been out for quite some time. I just caught wind of it a few weeks ago. I'm keeping this pause for a reason. Time is important. Every second counts. This is a survival game with your enemies being basically vampire slash zombies. Now, I will say this. I've played this a couple of times. Surviving alone is tough enough without the vampire slash zombies. They have a name. I think they call them humanoids. One thing that I like about most survival games is over time you level up as you do certain tasks, and usually as you level up you gain knowledge. In this game you have to find, I believe they're called, I believe they're called like tech notes or technology notes. And the reality is, okay, if I can get this up, all these green dots that you see are what they call points of interest. I am over here. I've never started over here, so I've got to figure something out. The reality is, I need to be in an area where there are caves, which these are caves, and points of interest. Because in order to gain knowledge, I have to go into these towns and fight these zombie slash vampires. The reason I say all this is because a few times playing, your weapons are just not very strong until you basically find enough technology notes that you can upgrade your weapons and upgrade armor and all kinds of stuff. So, surviving alone is hard enough. I have not ever been in this area before, or I would have just probably started running around while I was talking to you. I'm going to have to figure out a good place to go and start slowly crafting my weapons along the way. The Infected. Here we go, folks. This is probably one of my favorite survival games I've ever played. First thing I need to do is gather up some sticks and some rocks. And oh, try to turn that down a little bit. I'm really not a huge fan of this headphone that I have. Okay, so with these, I should be able to go in here. I take my rock, I take my stick, and I can make a stone axe. Now, as much as that is helpful, I need a stone spear. So I need a stone blade, 3 sticks, 5 plant fibers. See if I have this. The way I get my plant fibers is by chopping down trees. Normally, I think each tree gives me 5 plant fibers. I need to make a stone knife, so I need a rock, pick up, and I go back in here to my anvil, bring this over to here, and I craft a stone blade. So I need a stone blade. I have 10 plant fibers. I forget what I said I need. 3 sticks, maybe. Oops, yeah. 3 sticks. Okay, so what I can do to save time from looking for sticks all over the place is I can harvest this log. One, oh, I don't want this log. 2, 3. And the truth of the matter is, you kind of always want to have a couple extra sticks on you. That's what basically makes up most of your weapons. All right, we're at about noon. It is 41 degrees outside. That is the other thing, folks. This game, you have to have your head on a swivel. It is 4 seasons. There are bears, there are wolves, there are all kinds of things that can get you out here, other than the vampire zombie things. All right. Stone blade, 3 sticks, 5 fiber. This by far, let's see, move 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, stone spear. So, see if I can get that out. I need to figure out where I want to go. I am over here on the map. This is a trader here. I've been to a trader. You've got to have. Oh, I thought I heard something. You got to have a lot of money, a lot of stuff to trade with anything with the trader. So I need an area where there's a cave and there are a couple of these smaller towns here. So I'm gonna start heading into this direction over here. Now, I have I have dumbed it down just a little bit. I don't have near as many humanoids, as they call them, spawning into the game. I don't have as many that are going to be attacking me when they do come to attack my base. Normally, I think it's like 5. I think I dropped it down to 3 because at first, folks, I did it. The first attack is going to be on day 20. I've played this about 3 times and I have not made it past day 11, which day 11 is like actually like November. Each day is a month. Now this place looks promising. It's got water. The biggest problem is I'd be so far away from all these. I have to go to each one of these points of interest to gather knowledge, and I have to gather about 5 or 6 different knowledges in order to have enough knowledge to make. See how much water I got. Okay. In order to make my axes stronger. Okay, frogs are a huge source of food in here. They're about the easiest if you don't get caught chasing them around all day. What I'm going to try to do on this first video, which is going to probably take a minute, is find an area to get set up and start building a little shelter. And by the end of this episode here, I'd like to have at least a decent shelter set up. I think there's a way for me to set up a map in my corner, but I'm just going to use the main map. All right, so here's the other thing. You have to eat, you have to drink, and there's also all these other, they want you to eat vegetables, they want you to have protein. I think you have to have some fats. So anything you can find along the way, you definitely want to harvest. All right. In these towns, there will be these zombie things. We'll just call them zombie things. So at first, I really want to avoid them as best as possible until I'm able to get me a little bit of a base established. There's something right over there. It's small, so I'm guessing it's a bird or something. I'm going to try to get positioned in between these 2 caves. Now, those things like to run around in the caves, but I feel like if I get there on this first day, it might be a little bit more relaxed. I could really use that bird, but I don't want to get sidetracked. You get feathers, and I think that's all you get from birds. I don't even think you get meat from them. Maybe certain ones. Chickens, you get meat from, and eggs, I believe. Okay, here's a main road. Uh, I'm gonna creep down here and I'm gonna see if there's any zombies. If there are, I'm gonna probably try to avoid this place. If I can get in there and find that first tech note, and I'm sure it's called something different. So once we find it, I'll start calling it that. But here's that. Well, the music hasn't started yet. Usually there's some music when you start getting close to these things. I'm hoping maybe on the first day there's none of them really running around because my little stick is not very useful against them. Oh, here's that frog. I need a frog. Yeah, protein is definitely one of the important parts of the diet. The other thing I dialed down is in the normal mode, the sun. Like, you literally cannot be out in the sun for very long. And that makes it really hard to get anything done, especially when you start cutting down trees and clearing out an area. So I took that off. I get it, but it's like one element that it's hard to avoid during certain times of the year, and you don't always have time to just sit around in the shade all day, unfortunately. Oh, there's a deer. That kind of scared me. Okay, I hear the music now. It's starting to, which makes me think there might be. Not how well you can hear that deer's footsteps, but oh, that's a pig. Okay. Bears are extremely dangerous on here. Wolves are too, but they're not near as tough as the bears. I'm just gonna kind of try to. Okay, I see one down there by the stop sign. All right, hopefully there's only one or maybe two. I'm gonna try to slip in back here and hope he doesn't see me. And they do. They're somewhat intelligent. They can. I feel like they can see you from a long ways away. I'm hoping there's somewhere back here I can get in. Oh, oh, now I don't know where he's at. And I really wouldn't do this, but the more of these advancement. Oh, oh boy, he looked right at me. Oh, and he'll yell. If he sees me, he'll yell, so it'll tell me. He is right there. I really need to get into one of these tents. Not only does it have those tech notes, but oh, he's right there. I really needed that cucumber too. Crap. Making too many bad choices. And they hang around these caves too, but I think I'm on the back side of one of these caves. These right here are really good. Cucumber, I think. Crap, that doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to. I keep thinking I'm hearing footsteps, but that might just be the music. Not that opposed to setting up inside back here. I kind of want to get a look at the front and just make sure there's not a couple of those things running around. Ideally, I'd like to be. Okay, so right here's a cave. You can actually build inside the caves, but I think you have to clear the scorpions out of there first. Just trying to be careful of too much time consuming stuff, but now I'm looking at these trees and I'm like, boy, these are some big trees. I think that's going to be just on the other side of that other base. This ground is just a little bit unlevel, except when I get up here, and I'm not even sure I can. I'm not even sure I can take these big trees down. I'm about to find out, though. Holy cow, he's giving it a go. Oh, wow, look at that. That's going to give me a ton of logs. Okay, so, oh, I'm going to do that a lot, folks. I need to build. And this one here, oh, I saw that. I saw a leaf right there. I thought it was somebody walking. This one is going to be just a really basic one right now. Oh, I not set that. Really just enough room for my bed, a fire pit. Oh, don't cover all that up. Oh, I guess never mind. All right, pick up log. This is what I really like about this one too. When you get up on it, over there in the bottom left, it tells you exactly what you need. So I need 4 logs. We're going to get to the planks here in a minute. So this is why you have to start getting set up early, because I got to set up a sawhorse. Sawhorse will make me planks. I'm trying to get to all this wood here. Of course, I build it right on top of my trees that I cut down. All right, that's 4 of 4. Let's give this a couple. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. All right. Oh, okay. So these are big old trees here. So the last game that I played, I basically got unalived because I got too hot. The game before that, I got unalived because I froze. So that, and those were on lower levels. Those were on almost hardly any enemies on the map. It was almost I forget what they call it, the peaceful mode or something to that degree. And still had trouble. Like I said, there's a lot that goes into just setting up a simple little base. I've got to make a water collector and a fire. I'm looking for the where did I just cut that tree down at? Okay, right here. I like that you can carry like 3 logs at a time. 1, 2, 3. I think I started on another one and didn't go finish it. But caves are very important because caves, eventually, you can start mining copper and ores out of there so that you can make better, stronger weapons. And it took me my 3rd time before I finally asked, because I was looking Sorry. I was looking for copper so I could make stronger weapons, and then I finally had to Google it because I figured it was in caves, and I went to 5 or 6 different caves and could not find it. I found out you have to use this extractor that extracts it out of these caves, and I'm like, at that point in time, I was a long ways away from a cave. Okay, I've got to make a sawhorse. Start making planks here. And the other thing I really like about this one is even though you set it somewhere, you can pick it up and move it. Okay, what do I need? 4 logs. 3, 4. That should do it. Feeling a little claustrophobic in these big trees. At some point, I'll end up making multiple sawhorses. I have to build a smelter. I've got to build a lot of different stuff. And you're better off if you've got a couple different ones going, because like this here, I think it takes about 10 seconds to make a couple planks. I've got to make planks for all these, and I've got to build some walls, all kinds of stuff. Trying to keep my head on a swivel too, folks. All right, let's see. Oh, I need to build some stairs. So I dilly-dally around here trying to put these steps on my foundation so that I had some stairs to go into the house. It took me like 10 minutes, but finally. Usually it just clicks right into place. The only thing I can think is that for some reason. Oh. I have to get the actual thing built before I can do that. Holy cow. I'm getting way ahead of myself. This is literally like my 4th time trying to play this game, and each time you learn a little something new. Learn what not to do, what to do. And right now in my head, I'm 35 steps ahead of where I'm supposed to be right now. I decided to speed this up just a little bit. It gets pretty repetitive, but this video took a little bit over an hour. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to get you a little base set up. Oh, wow. I think I built this thing too close to. There it goes. Trying to do is open up enough space around here just so I got a little bit of room. Oh yeah, here. Still got to build that. If I stick around here, which I think what I'm going to try to do, because I found out you can build inside of caves. Now I'll take that. Okay. I think I want to try to get set up inside of a cave at some point in time, especially once I find the technology to pull the minerals out of the ground in the caves. Sorry, I'm all bumfuzzled here. One thing I really like about this game is the base building. You can build your base the way you want to build it. You can build it 2 stories, 3 stories. You can bring a lot of stuff inside so you don't have to keep going outside to do work. Sometimes you get stuck in there. Like I was on the last game, I was stuck inside because it was so hot. Then I got to where I couldn't cook any food because I'd turn on the heat or I'd turn on the fire. And it was even hotter in there. So I was in a bit of a pickle. I'm like, okay, I'm starting over, and my game plan is to be in a better location and possibly get set up in a cave. I feel like in a cave you don't have to worry about the heat. Probably, maybe even the cold. I don't know that for a fact. I just know that I was fine in a cave when it was really hot. Okay, we're getting there. And this is busy work, folks. You are forever doing something to keep going, to keep building stuff, making sure you have stuff to build stuff, making sure you have food, making sure you have water. It is a constant thing going on here.
The other thing I really like is the inventory management. You are forced to end up making a whole bunch of storage units because you can only carry so much in your backpack. And eventually you got to get a bigger backpack.
So that leads me to what I was getting ready to just say is one of the first things I'd normally build is a storage chest. Because then you can kind of give yourself more room to grab more materials to get this stuff built a little quicker. Fire be good, probably be the next thing I start working on. That's the other thing I like about this. You can move these. Do I have any planks? I do not. Okay. Get a couple more planks going. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen anything running around.
I said this at the beginning of the video, but this game alone, it is very tricky to just survive and to keep yourself fed certain times of the year. Food won't grow. So eventually, at some point, you can do a greenhouse. It's very in depth.
I think I only need one more. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably wrong. Two more. Oh, sorry, folks. All right. Now that's done. I need to build some stairs here. It'll be the time that I'm. Oh, okay. It's like a butterfly or something. I saw something running around over there. All right. Turn around. I do wish there was a quicker way to spin these things too. There might be, and I just haven't figured it out. I don't know what's going on here. I understand the first time I didn't have the thing built, but even then it seemed like it's like on a weird angle or something. Okay, there we go. Now, can I put that here? I'd rather put that there. Okay, I need 3 logs, 4 more planks. You need logs and planks for everything, folks.
You definitely cut down a lot of trees, but it's very rewarding once you get that bed to sleep in. That's for sure.
What I will tell you also about your shelter and these zombie things, they will come right through your front door. So this shelter is nothing more but to kind of keep you out of the elements. I'll just put it like that. Now you can eventually put up spikes, spike walls, which I don't know. I don't know that I'm gonna need them as much in the cave, but I'm sure I will need them at some point in time. Okay, now let's get a fire going. I need fire to boil water and to cook my food here. Gotta angle it like that. Gotta make sure you leave room for your walls, folks. Otherwise, you'll move this. I learned that the hard way. Okay, now I need 10 small stones and firewood. So let me remember here. I need, I say let me remember. Let me look here. I need stone pickaxe. I need a stick. I need stone blade, 2 plant fibers. Do I have any of that? I have a stick. I do not have a stone blade. It is getting dark. It is 8:30 at night, according to this. I see a stone. No, is that a stone? No, that's a frog. There's a stone. I won't let me pick that up. I do like that it highlights these things. Otherwise, you are looking forever. Okay, so I need stone blade. I need one stick. Okay, you go over here. Oh, here comes the thunderstorm. These things are intense too, folks. The sound, I should say the sound is intense. I think I put too many on there. One, two. Okay, stone pickaxe. Which is much faster than running around gathering rocks. When you need them, they're impossible to find. When you don't need them, they're everywhere. Like that one right over there that I didn't see while I was looking around. Okay, I need 10, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. Oh, yep, missed it by one. Okay, there's that. And I think it says I need firewood. 8 firewood. So I need to get rid of a couple of these little trees anyway. Luckily, the one thing, even on the harder kind of levels, the storms don't really seem to bug you. Now they drown out the sound of maybe footsteps and stuff, but other than that, I've played games where once you're wet, you start getting hypothermic, and that gets a little tricky too.
It might be a coincidence, but them zombies, they seem to like to come out during the thunderstorms too.
Okay. Now I can gather all these sticks up. I feel like I'm moving kind of slow a little bit. Come on. Put that down. All right, now I probably need to eat pretty quick. The other thing is, once your food gets out of line, because you've got to have a little bit of everything. Otherwise, you're a little bit out of whack. You start getting dizzy and all kinds of interesting stuff. But I think I've already got a little bit of fruit. Here's what I'll show you. Turn that down a little bit in the hopes it's not so loud. This beef stew, you start with 5. This is a lifesaver because it will almost level everything out, and it gives you overall health. So you see you got your overall 100% health. If I die on here, that'll drop down. It'll depending. I think it depends on how it happens, but once it starts to drop down, as best I can tell, you can't ever get it back up. So it's not like you necessarily have infinite lives. All right, I've got to get some walls. I got to get a door started. Get a couple walls. I'm gonna be working into the night here, folks. I'm gonna try to get this shelter up on this first episode, and hopefully we can do that here shortly. Short amount of time here. All right, walls. You want your wooden door frame. Bang. Okay, and then I haven't quite figured out how to just go back to the next thing, but here's the other trick. You kind of want some windows. You kind of want to be able to look out, mostly to know that maybe there's not one of those things out there running around, but also if there's a bear out there, if there's a wolf out there, You don't really want to just go running right into it. So I try to kind of give myself a window on each. As I say that, I'm having trouble here. There we go. Okay. I try to give myself a window on each wall. Now, the interesting part about that, let's see, do I have anything I can give it? Nope. Once you get to the winter time, at least in one scenario I did, I had to build actual walls and get those windows closed up because my fire wasn't producing. My cabin was too big and the fire wasn't keeping it warm enough unless I was right on top of the fire.
I would say that's another thing I really like about this game. I mean, it keeps you on your toes. You've got to make sure you've got warm clothes and you've got to learn how to make those warm clothes. And if you don't have warm clothes, you're in trouble.
This is kind of what I meant by time is not necessarily on your side. I'm not that tired, which is good, but once you get tired, it will kind of start slowly draining everything if you don't get yourself some sleep. Think your head gets a little woozy and okay, I'm gonna put that on there. I think I have all the logs for all of them. 3 of 3, 3 of 3, 3 of 3, 3 of 3. Okay, I think. Did I check this one? Yep. Okay, so now I need planks. I need lots of planks. I mean, even though we did see that one zombie, it's been fairly quiet. Normally it seems like there's always oh, what am I doing? I need planks. There's usually always something kind of running around. All right, I'll tell you what, while this is going on, I'm gonna eat a little something. Oh, some of my food went bad. Yeah, that the pumpkin and whatever else I had, watermelon or melon, something to that degree.
Definitely another part that you got to keep an eye on. You got to know how much food you have and how much water that you have because if you don't drink and eat, you're also in trouble.
These things, I'm telling you, especially on these bigger trees, I'm not sure how many logs you get, but I can't tell you how many times I've been out looking, or I go out and cut down a tree and then I turn around and there's like 6 logs laying there. Okay, I'm doing okay on water. That's the other thing I've got to start thinking about. I got to start thinking about making a rain collector. Now, what would have been nice is if I would have had one built when it rained. It normally rains once a day. Still missing. It normally rains once a day, but this seems to be a whole new area that I'm in. I have not been in this area, so not sure what the weather pattern's like.
My first two playthroughs, I had to worry about the cold weather, and neither one of those ended well. The game I played before I started this one, I had to worry about the heat, and that did not end well either.
Oh, there's a goat. Okay, come on, please stop fighting me here. I think it has a little bit to do with the angle I'm kind of standing at, but it seems like it can be a real pain sometimes to get these things to line up right.
Normally, the zombies will attack on day 10 at your shelter, and I just do not feel like 10 days is enough time.
This is probably one there's only a few complaints I have about this game. And again, maybe I'm not doing something right, but it is tough to get those things lined up.
It has taken us all day to get this little shelter done. So, considering there is so much more that needs to be done, I'm not sure 10 days is enough time.
This is what I meant by every. Oh no. Okay, I think that's a rock. I thought that was a bear right there where my little dot's at, if you can see it. Let me tell you, them bears, they are no joke. They are no joke. You can't. I mean, I think I outran one just barely. I got up. I had a ladder going up to my roof, and I just barely got to the ladder. I think he nicked me a little bit, but
On episode 2, we're going to set up a water collector. We got to set up a workbench. We also have to get our furnace going so we can start making metal.
all right, I got a couple more, and then I can start working on the roof. And then I have to build a bed. And that'll probably be it for tonight. Let's see.
So, really, by the time we get some sleep, get up and get going again, get everything made that we need to get made on the second day, it's going to be pretty much the third day, and you're just starting to get warmed up.
Seeing like this will happen. These are like down inside this other tree. All right, I believe I have this one. Yes. Wait. Yeah, 3 of 3. 3 of 3. 2, 3 of 3. All right. Now, where's my saw tables? Way over here on the other side of the house, I bet. Yeah.
Then it normally takes you a couple days just to figure out if the area you're in has enough fruits and vegetables to keep your diet on track. Otherwise, you're going to have to move to somewhere else and do it again.
I'm hoping this area is fair to me for a couple of days so I can really get myself set up, hopefully, inside that cave there. I got to go inside the cave. I got to kind of see what's going on in there. I think there's definitely some scorpions, and every now and then there'll be the zombies. And I don't know if they'll stay gone once I clear them out of there. All that's going to be learned along the way.
I have definitely learned quite a few things on my playthroughs. However, it seems like every single game I have played, a different scenario might pop up that I wasn't even thinking about, and I find myself in trouble again.
And then what I like to do is I like to just throw one inside here. So I'm getting ready to have to make some roof. Make a roof.
Well, I sure appreciate you watching this video if you made it this far, folks. I imagine most of the other videos would be a little bit shorter with just a couple tasks that we'll try to take care of. This first day getting this shelter going definitely takes a minute.
And again, I could have made this 4x4, and I've done that before, and like immediately I had to open it up wider because I didn't have enough room. What am I looking for? Ceiling here. They do have this ceiling where you can make a ladder that goes to the roof. I don't know. I don't know if it was that or the windows, but something kept putting my fire out every time it would rain when I had that in the roof. So it is convenient to get on the roof and see if there's anything outside or to hunt. It's really convenient to hunt if there's something close by your shack.
I normally do these gaming videos on Rumble, but I noticed quite a few people had watched the farming video that I set up, so I thought I'd go ahead and do a video of this, and I'm kind of hoping you guys like it. It's getting ready to be warm weather, so I won't be spending too much time indoors, but I like to do this when I'm stuck inside.
Starting to get hungry. I still have plenty of energy, which is good. I got a few minutes left here in this little project. Just kind of like to get all of one thing out of the way anyway. Okay, that one should have 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, I need 4 more logs. Did I just completely get lost? Where did I cut down that tree at? Right here. 1, 2, 3. like that I can carry 3. Sometimes I wish I could carry 4, maybe even 6. Okay, I think this one's just missing 1. All right, that's done. 1, 2. Shorted myself on that one.
I will say I have a couple projects that are getting ready to get done at the Rated R Ranch. I'm supposed to be meeting a guy tomorrow to get a quote to get a driveway put in. So I'm definitely pretty excited about that, ready to get that done.
Am I overweight? Oh, I am overweight. I gotta get I gotta get something out of here. I got rocks or something I'm carrying around. Let me get the one over here. All right, I gotta look and see what I got on me here because I'm carrying a lot of stuff. Okay, you can go over here. Now I can click it over there, but folks, if I do, let's see if it'll do it to me. Yep, see, it just puts it in all these random places. Stack. I want you down here. And you can oh yeah, and this is how you make rope too. Um, you have to have a workbench. So that's I think a workbench I can actually do without having a tech nod or tech node or whatever they call it. All right, get out. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of my lighter. Definitely need my lighter. All right, you go over there. You go over there. That's good for the fire. Okay, well, I feel like I'm moving real jerky for some reason.
Probably because I've been running around in circles for the last hour and a half, cutting down trees trying to get this dang shelter built.
I've definitely played some games where it's like you need a rope or you need something else other than just a rock and a stick, which definitely makes sense. But I mean, look, we haven't hardly stopped moving since we started going, and I'm still a couple minutes out from having my shelter done here.
I will say this, it took a while to get it done, but nothing bothered us the whole time, and that definitely helps.
Almost got this gym done. It's going to be morning time and I'm going to be going to sleep. Okay, I need 6 more. Yeah, that one would have been nice to have. And I gotta make me a bed. I need to make me a water collector, but I'll probably just do that on the next episode. It's not really gonna do much good unless it rains anyway, which I don't know. Sometimes it rains first thing in the morning and sometimes it doesn't rain at all.
Hopefully, it continues to rain the way it normally does, because eventually we're going to have to plant some stuff and get some food growing out here.
6 a.m. and I haven't been to bed yet. I need to eat something real quick. My protein's getting pretty. Oh no. Oh no. All right. I'm not gonna have a choice here. I've got to eat one of my rations. I only have 5 of those. But if you can see that put everything up. It basically brought me back to scratch. I don't like to do that, but I got lost. I lost track of time and forgot to be eating and drinking regularly.
It definitely doesn't take much to throw you off track and put you in a bad situation.
Okay, let's get me a bed set up, and then that's going to be it for this episode. Let's see here. Um, Furniture. Okay, okay. Get that tucked in over here. If floor space is important, folks, just like in real life, I'm gonna have to probably at least get a couple more chests set up, and I'm gonna have to get a smelter in here too. All right, I need 6 planks. I thought I needed logs for some reason, but never mind. 2, 4. You get 2 planks out of each log. If I didn't say that already, now you know. Day 2. It's day 2, folks. I think I started like noon or around noon day before. 2. I think I need all of these. 6. All right, there we go. And a plank to grow on. There is my little cabin in the woods here. Took me all day and a minute to do it, but that's going to be episode number 1. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see some more, but I'll probably do episode 2 tomorrow night, and we'll see if we can start working our way into the cave at some point in time. Got quite a bit I got to do around the cabin here, but shouldn't take much longer to get kind of where I want to be, and then start moving into this cave over here. Go in there and explore it, get some iron and stuff out of there. Should be fun. We'll catch you next time, folks. Appreciate you.